Hello, look at how bright the sun is this morning. It feels really lovely on my face here. And I've put a couple of um, things of flowers in front of me and a bit of paper. And I'm just going to see what happens with that. I've been away and kind of busy, and different things have been going on. So this is my first morning settling to painting really for a long time. Oh, the sun has suddenly stopped being so bright. Um, yeah, so it might just be a very gentle, quiet, slow thing. We'll see. Okay, so I'll point you down and to what's here. And I'm going to do something on here, I think. You're on the rocking chair now, so it'll stop rocking in a second. Yeah. I've got various things, like I've got the watercolor pencils. I started planning on just doing using watercolor alone, excuse me, and then I went out to the shed to get my. Upside down, sorry. I went out to the shed to get my other to get my bright orange paint because I wanted to paint the lanterns first. No, then I recognised that there's actually still flowers in the garden. So I picked myself a little bunch, and then the snapdragon there, Procosmius, catmint, some foxgloves, and the last almost intact daisy. And so when I picked those and I found the vase that I like, I had well, I don't know for sure if I've decided what I'm doing really, but it was just nice to start out the day with a little bunch of flowers for myself. And it's beautiful here. We moved the furniture around a bit, so the table is now over by the window, and the morning light comes in here. And then it's easy, sitting down by the table. I can, and of course, there's trees just out there too that there's a lot of them since I was away in Cambridge for a few days, and when I came back, a lot of there's an awful lot of leaves on the ground, and the ones on the trees have changed colour, so they're much more yellow green now. And yeah, so the season's definitely upon us. Right. Um, I'm gonna do something in the watercolor, I think. I've got my watercolor palette here, and I think I'll use what will I do? I want to make a pink. No, this is acrylic actually. I wanted to make a kind of purple color for the catmint. I think maybe this mingled with the ultramarine blue watercolor. Well, is Alan walking dusty? I think this color mingled with the ultramarine blue watercolor might work to give me a feeling of the color of the catmint. It's something like that. It's happening there, and occasionally it's very bright where the sun hits it. I don't really know how I could explain that, but draw a bit later. I've got these acrylic inks, these acrylic inks as well. What else is in here? Alcohol ink, and there is a blue I could draw with. Oh, no, I've got glue. I was trying to find my glue and I didn't think it was there. Here it is suddenly. So with the option too of maybe doing something for the foliage. kind of letting myself go freely, really, here, and just place things down more through feeling it to be the thing, rather than it being an accurate literal representation of what I'm seeing. That's, I think, yeah, I like to feel into what it is, more so than especially this early morning painting. It feels to me like it's a good time to just play a bit, check in with myself and kind of let it be a free thing. What colour is this now? Flame orange. Well, I have to use that even if it's not the right colour, just for the name. It's a good start to the day. Flame orange. And let's see if I can draw something of the shape of the Crocosmia flower and the seeds with this kind of slightly darkish orange. Those little buds, I mean. And then there's one that's really yellow orange, really, or almost fully yellow. But I can always bring some yellow into it after. Quite pleasing to have a line in here. And then there's a green watercolor pencil. And, well, that's it. Chalk pencil. And this is watercolor. And I think I'll just use my non-dominant hand. Or actually, I'll use this one with holding the end of it so that you can see something of what I'm doing. And I'm just pulling a little bit of the orange into the green, so it's making the pencil a little bit wet so that it'll hopefully, and I'm just going to make it more, dip it into the water myself, because I want this line to flow a wee bit easier for myself. And these seeds are kind of, or whatever you call them, are attached along the way. And it's a very green. I probably could do with a bit more of the orange in it. Make it read as the brownish colour that's there. I'll just pull the orange down now that I've picked up some from there. And it'll kind of merge with that there. It's good to, it's good to get moving on something. Just if you're on the fence and wondering whether you're going to do something or not this morning. If I can give you an extra little nudge in the direction of doing it, I can let you know that it does feel good, particularly if there is no pressure to produce a particular outcome, only to just see what will happen here, see what will come up of its own accord. That's the job, I think, really. It's kind of doing all you can to turn off any agenda. As an ant came in from the shed with me, he was crawling around the table there. A funny time of year to be seeing an ant around the place. These are some of the catmint light flowers now that are catching the light, so they're quite transparent in places there. And I've just got a kind of a turquoise watercolor pencil. So the thing is, you could, I often say this to people, and I really do it myself, that I could have a couple of pictures. It doesn't have to all be in one. Like, I could stop with this one now if I wanted to, but I don't really want to stop yet. And I don't mind if I overwork, if I go on and on. I sometimes want to let myself do whatever I want. Like a small child will do that, won't they? They won't have this issue of overworking. They just keep putting their hands in the thing. I know sometimes I've wanted my children to stop because it's beautiful, and then they'll just kind of smear black paint all over it or something with joy, you know. They don't give a damn. And you know, I mean, when they were really little, like it was a lovely thing, really, to have that spirit of abandon around the place too. So this is the notion that I have for myself that, I mean, although I am delighted by beauty, I want to kind of reveal the beauty in things, that I could also maybe forgive myself if I let it trip over into just the old too much line, you know. Sometimes I think that's the thing, that we tell ourselves that we're too much. And a friend of mine was saying to me, she loves being out in nature because she said, out in nature, you're never too much. The vastness of it all can hold you, you know. I like that idea. And I do feel that, of course, you know, when you head out for a walk, a little walk can resolve anything, I think. Well, it can bring space into it. No, I think I'll maybe use a little bit of watercolour here. This is actually cadmium red that I put on the brush. It seems to be holding the orange enough. The orange colour that I'm seeing here. I will go for some lemon yellow as well as I move out towards the edge of that one. I've got a bit of green in my lemon yellow, so just leave it out a little bit. And we could mix the lemon yellow maybe with the ink to get that kind of transparent quality of the yellow coming through, the sunlight coming through the yellow. Here and there. And this one really is there. And this one is bright yellow. It's been diluted by the blue, so I think I might give it, well, it is sitting behind the blue actually, so I suppose what I could do is put some of the purpley blue colour on here and lay it on top. I will do that just for fun. I think anytime you think of something that's a little bit outside the box even, might as well go with it and see where it takes you. I'm going to paint this little bit of white paper with the purpley colour, and I'll put some glue down there. I'm doing that because the colour of the I'm wondering if I wanted brighter white. I'm doing that because the colour of the yellow underneath purple is a little bit murky looking, and it's not at all what I see happening here. So I've just got a thin piece of paper and put the purple colour on it to overlap the Crocosmius there with a little bit of the catmint. Midnight is mad for that catmint. But I noticed the other evening there was a massive local cat had come in and started smearing herself around it too. And so Midnight's quite a timid cat. So I was thinking that it's drawing more than her own cat to it. It's amazing that it's still flowering actually. I don't know how it's still flowering so long. It feels like some yellow was on the glue there. Feels like late in the year for there to be still flowers. I mean, the snapdragon is thriving more than it was in the summer, and so is the catmint. Really, I don't know how that is. I'm liking this. Like even in my place down, I want to take the. See, there was yellow on the top of that, and it went on to the catmint area. But I'm kind of liking the little bits of purple, placing them down here and there. So I'm just gonna continue doing that. Even this thick piece, I think, can find a home somewhere. Okay, there. Turn it that way. I'm sure I could even tear off some of this. I say that it's really strong paper. This is the watercolor paper I recommend, so it's a good ad for it. Rockingford 535 GSM. And you can peel the top off it, and here we have the same. Here we have the same purplish color. I was just using the paper down there to mix it. So if you peel the top layer off, just notice you're not able to see the full screen where I was mixing the color down there. And I'm going to pop a little bit of that over here, I think. It's quite nice how the glue spreads out the pink, actually, the purple, I mean. Yeah, I like the glue just moving it around. If into if in doubt, just let your body do it. Allow your intuition to place things. Just release any control at all about it. If you can, bring that kind of good too. The snapdragon is back there. I don't know if it's really a very exciting addition to the mix here. Maybe just having something dark. That's a foxglove in the front. Maybe having something dark to either side. And I don't really have a pink. I'd be using my magenta again. Put you down so you can see it. This little corner that I've been mixing in. I'm looking to make the colour of the snapdragon. It's not a bit like that now. I need to put some cadmium red into it, maybe. And a little bit more of the magenta. I want it to be a bright colour, but it's a kind of. Oh, let's just try it. And that snapdragon is a kind of a dusty pink, really. What I'm doing is I'm putting in the darker folds of it anyway, the darker bits, with this red and magenta mix, and possibly I can find something to represent the really bright parts later. Maybe, I wonder what this alcohol ink colour is like. I kind of have nothing to lose, have I? It's only just morning painting. I think there was a bright touch of alcohol ink in there, which I'm kind of pulling about with the water, trying to share out its brightness. Might be a nice colour too for the foxglove that's here. Just a little touch of bright on the foxglove. The rest of it is in shadow, really. Might even be the colour of this, the green. I want to do that. Okay. Stem is doing that kind of a thing, curling around. The stem of this catmint is kind of moving up here and then bending. And over here. And up here too, but I don't know if we need an awful lot of it there. Maybe some yellow. And there's a Crocosmius stem that's quite yellow that's extending up here. It's yellow because of the light falling on it, I suppose. Or even white is almost what it is. And then there's, oh, I'm pulling that. There's also another Crocosmius leaf that's, I mean, the Crocosmius leaves have actually got quite a yellowish hint to them, so not just because of the light. There's a yellow-green quality to them. I mean, I'm placing things out of there. I'm changing really where things are located. Not even consciously changing them, but just realizing as I put the leaves in that they're really sitting more to the right there. So I don't know if that one is even in the mix, but I'm not too bothered again, unless it's distracting. Be a little bit distracting. See what it does if I lift it off, but that's okay. Okay. So these greens up here are kind of sap green, blue green kind of thing. These leaves. This is a chalk pencil. You know, one of these pastel pencils. What have we now? I do have sap green in my watercolor palette. Do I? Yeah. Show you there. So this here is the sap green. It's a nice kind of yellow green, isn't it? Kind of warmish green. So it's been, as I think about it now, you know, anytime I travel away from home, I suppose it feels a bit kind of full on, you know, there's a bit to it, you know. I mean, I love it. I love going down to my friends in Cambridge. Lovely group of people down there. And it's all very easy. And yet there's things to organise before I go and, you know, all of that stuff. And then coming back and acclimatizing. So this is actually it's kind of like a grounding thing for me to be doing here. And as is often the case, part of that sense of grounding is relating to hearing my own voice, maybe talking and feeling that I'm sharing with somebody. but I'm not disturbed by anybody at the same time. So it's quite a pleasing thing being just here with you, you know. I'm gonna drop Lily to work then in about an hour. She starts at 11 today. My other job today is to sort out my paintings for I've got piles of paintings in my bedroom. I'm going to do a Facebook sale, and I want to take them today to the photographer. And he's going to also package and post them with his wife, Linda. So the Facebook sale will be going live at 12 o'clock on the 25th of October. And then they'll send out the paintings to everybody who bought them by the following month. You know, they'll have packaged them and they'll post them out then in late November, so they should get there for Christmas, you know. I'll be doing a calendar this year as well, so you know, we can post anywhere in the world. Just let me know if you like one. Putting some of the dark green touches in, dispersing them through. And there's a foxglove sitting here. It's quite pleasing. Nice little shape. And a pinkish colour. I wonder if it might work to put some of this alcohol ink down for that into the water. This is a different colour again now. Just to read as something of the bright of the foxglove. Quite pleasing, isn't it, playing about with inks? Sometimes more than others I feel quite relaxed in this play. And for some reason today it's particularly chilling. Not in a horror film way, it's particularly chilling me out, you know. This is fluorescent pink now. I don't need to do it, but anyway, I want to. Oh, it seems to be, it smells like it's gonna. Okay, actually, maybe it just was the reaction with the alcohol ink that made it smell. I put a touch here as well, it's quite bright down there. Sometimes I like as well to just use a tip, but maybe I want to first pull that leaf here. With the water. Yeah, there's definitely some reaction happening between the alcohol ink and the acrylic ink. It's some sort of exciting smell going on there. And I want to try putting some more catmint in the foreground down here, coming out towards me. And I want to play about again with putting the alcohol ink into this fluid ultramarine blue and see what happens with that. Because the alcohol ink is a kind of pinkish colour that I think I would mix it with ultramarine blue to make purple, but of course the alcohol and the watercolour won't be, they will resist each other, so I'm not sure what will happen. I'll try this one and that. It's two different kinds of alcohol ink. No, that's not purple, is it? That's a bit dominant. I'll try this other one. It seems a bit softer. Yeah, I mean, Probably not completely the colour of the, in fact, not at all the colour of the catnip, but the two colours are in the mix somewhere, so I like that. Let me throw some more of the ultramarine blue on top of it as well. I need to just land it on it because it really does resist it. I don't know how it's gonna take to that. I think when the alcohol ink is still wet, I've got some hope of dropping the colour into it. And it does kind of merge, doesn't it? It's merging a little bit there. You're probably you're completely opposite angles than I am. I'm looking at this, so I hope you can kind of make sense of it somehow. And that it doesn't feel irritating. But I usually end up taking a photograph of the flowers and the viewpoint I have after and sharing that on Facebook and Instagram and things. Now, to do the daisy or not do the daisy? That is the question. And in the meantime, I'm going to do something else. The daisy is extending up there, you see, and then I'm not sure if the painting wants it really. I love daisy, so I might find a way to squeeze it in somewhere. Maisie's gone off with the dog walker, it being Tuesday. I just picked her up from my daughter last night, so she's not been around all that much. And it's just Tuesday and Friday she goes to the dog walker. I like keeping that routine up if I can. So she was there before I went to Cambridge and on Friday, and then Hope came down and picked her up after in the afternoon on Friday. So I could do the daisy. I think I probably will actually, because now that there's all this carry on down here, there can be something up here, I think. Maybe even just there. And then I don't know about painting in the pot. Or putting something to describe the pot in there. I pretty like that there actually. And put this somewhere. I think I wanted all of that down there, so I'm just going to stick that bit back on again. You know what? I might just start another one to do the daisy, because I kind of like this being just the way it is. This gorgeous, gorgeous bright yellow coming through in the Crocosmius there. Might be another time for painting a bit of paper and using it to collage on that bright yellow. We've got this, I think it's cadmium yellow ink. I'll just be sure there now. No, it's Indian yellow. Anyway, it looks quite good as a bright color for the Crocosmius petals. I'll try one. No, it doesn't work on that one. That was already fine. I think it maybe could do with being over there. And maybe actually that it's just yellow ink directly on there that might do the trick. You could just let it sit there so that it dries in relief almost. Little bauble of yellow extending to the sunlight there. I mean, there's the Chinese lanterns over here as well, which are in a different posy, but they're lovely as well. Colorways. Might do another painting. Let's see. And look, all the time I had some of this nice purple ink too I could use for the foxglove. No harm to bring a little bit of dark in. So this is purple acrylic ink. I do like to give myself the option of a bit of variety with materials. Some part of me does anyway. At the start, I think I'll keep the place clean now and I'll just like use my watercolors. I can do something with watercolor. And I talk myself into it, like it's good to restrict my palette sometimes and to restrict the materials. And as this whole conversation goes on, next thing I see the flowers growing in the garden, and I think, as I gather the flowers, I'm gathering ideas as to how I could represent them. And it's got nothing to do with keeping the living room clean. It's got way more to do with what'll work to capture the feeling I have looking at these flowers. And that's why I think I love alcohol ink and even the fluorescent inks, because it needs to be so iridescent almost to do justice to the light coming translucent through a petal. And you know, somewhere in the mix of all of this, there's a kind of a sense of well-being comes through, like I am okay, you know, because I think very often in our lives we can feel the opposite of that. We can feel so wrong and not okay, and it's such a relief then to do something on paper with color in response to beauty, and to feel the well-being that comes through that, you know. Like I was saying in my newsletter there, or no, it wasn't my newsletter, something else I was writing, and I was remembering the words of Matt Haig from his book, Reasons to Stay Alive. It's a lovely book. He says our natural response to beauty is love. And you can, I think, feel a stimulus in the heart when you look at something beautiful, like a flower in the light of the morning sun there. In wintertime as well, you know, one of the last flowers. No, it's not yet wintertime, but you know, when it's kind of unexpected, I guess. I didn't expect there to be any flowers left in the garden, and So I think that adds something as well, this sense of it being, at the end of the season, and still it's poking its head through and making itself known in the world, these flowers. So there's something heartening in that. I didn't always get that thing that, that people would say, oh yeah, creativity keeps you afloat and your creative impulses, you kind of have to paint every day, some artists might say that they have to paint every day to keep on an even keel and all that. And I used to kind of think it's a bit of a burden to feel like you have to paint every day. I didn't sense that. But then I started to kind of have this regular thing of doing a bit of stretching in the morning and then painting or doing some sketch, something, just not because I wanted to make a beautiful painting, but because I have this ritual that I know serves me well, and it was serving me well. My days were better when I gave myself the chance to, I suppose, to go within, really. That's, you're kind of, you can't but respond from yourself. It's my body making these marks, choosing these colours. So there is a kind of homecoming that happens with it, I think, that maybe I could understand it being a sustaining thing from that point of view. And it's always changing, isn't it? There's always different motivations, and sometimes it can be very barren. Like I've been painting in the morning fairly consistently for a few months, and at the same time, I still have this sense of being a bit stagnant, that I've got ideas that aren't being discovered or uncovered, or there's more that I could be. But maybe that's just the whole, not enoughness. That seems to be par for the course with well, I don't know, but for me, I find that comes up. Not enough or too much. So anyway, I'm not sure if I completed that point, but or if there was a point to complete. But it's nice to be painting and sticking things on and using colours. And considering what do I want to do here. I think I'll use my purple ink again. I keep wanting to bring the Catmint further down the page. So the purple mixed with the ultramarine blue watercolour might make a nice thing happen, hopefully. And I probably need quite a lot of blue to counteract the purpleness of the purple. I like this idea of leaving the fluidity really and just letting it stay fluid, on the surface without so keeping the painting flat but allow it to be like that, won't it? Lets it stay really fluid and intact. The little pools of colour stay intact. I seem to have decided against the daisy. There's some flashes of yellow now that could be pulled out in response to this purple blue down here. There's some yellow crocosmos leaves. I'm being a little bit touchy at the edge because I like this tablecloth and it already has some stains and things on it. I don't want to add to them. It's got flowers all around the edge that are, they just make me smile. I love them. I sense that the tablecloth has got a garden around it. You see, flowers are God laughing, is it, or something? There's certainly joy that comes through them anyway. They're dancing away, and all the different ends and turns of the stems of different flowers. How they all have their own character and So another dark. Just gonna put this in. I know it's not the color. I want to explore putting a dark in here without going. I'm just using something different. I might put some alcohol, yeah, green alcohol ink into the red. Let's see what happens. I'll make it dark. There we are. Kind of exciting. I'm going to do that again because that was kind of exciting to me. I like making darks in different ways. Because they need to be in there to accentuate the brightness, I think. Even here. I don't know an awful lot about the alcohol ink. I just like how it dissipates the watery paint and how it does kind of merge with the acrylic so that it makes a satisfying dark colour. I'm going to pull it around a bit here to make some leaves maybe. There's something a bit more coherent from it. There's a kind of a withered cadmant flower up here. So it'll be paintings like this that I'll be including in that Facebook sale, morning paintings. And actually quite a few that have been in exhibitions and there's a few that I'm going to take out of the frames in order to put them in the Facebook sale. And there'll be others that are demonstration paintings from workshops and things. My job this morning is to sort through them and decide which ones, and maybe to do a bit of cropping here and there, and putting them in piles because there'll be price points for each album. Price points. That's a very business-like term, isn't it? But to make it simple, each album will contain paintings that are all the same price. So I need to divide them up that way. And also it's good to maybe have all the flowers in one album, all the faces in another. Sometimes it's hard to keep them all separate because the prices of them need to be, that they mix up a bit. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You don't need to know all of that. But today's the day I'm dropping them to the photographer, so I do need to do that job. And I will do that job. And I'm also going to send out a little message to my online group, the online portrait painters. This time there's watercolor portraitures happening at the moment. I put in a lot of dark there, so I want to disturb it again with some bright, because there are some leaves there in the mix there too. So I'm going to send out the week 2 email to them. I think it'll be a side profile we're working on today. This week it'll be a side profile. Last week it was the 3/4 view. And it's watercolor portraiture that I do, so in the online classes at least. So that's what we'll be doing. Okay. I think I can bring you so that you can see it a little bit more clearly. That's the bunch that I was looking at. And then this is the painting. A bit of everything, really, in there. Collage there. That was acrylic ink and ultramarine blue watercolor. and this was acrylic ink, and some alcohol ink squirted on top, red and green, which kind of excite each other beside each other and cancel each other out when you mix them. So that's all the Catmint, and then the Crocosmias is there. There's a few foxgloves in the mix, and then the Catmint is extending up and over here too. And behind there is the pink of the Snapdragon, which hasn't really been given its lovely kind of folding shape, but with it sitting in the background, I'm happy enough that it's not demanding too much attention. And the leaf of the Crocosmias shooting off there, there, and there. And then I just wanted to put that in. I didn't want to draw the pot somehow. I think I wanted to feel like it's outdoors in a meadow. I'll take the pot away so that you can see without the shadow cutting across it. Okay. And just leaves me now to say, have a lovely day, and thank you for your company on this sunny morning. Bye bye.